Welcome back, Ram fans. This is my Rams up rehash. Had a couple of nights to sleep on it. Some final thoughts on the Rams' big win over the Buccaneers, 34-7. And a few weeks ago, I saw this as a clash of titans, and I'm not sure what exactly that was that we saw. The Rams looking like the best team in the National Football League in Tampa Bay. Just not what sure to make of them right now. And that was probably the cause of what a couple of commenters on the YouTube channel said was, maybe a lack of excitement, a little bit of negativity on my part in my post-game reaction. And I apologize for that. It's nothing purposeful. I am extremely impressed with this team, loving every minute of it. There's just a little bit of me that thought maybe this Tampa Bay team isn't as good as we thought, but hey, maybe it was just the Rams making them look extremely bad. So do not read me wrong. I am excited about this team. And hey, if they smash Carolina next week, maybe we will be seeing a trend here of not only winning football games, but just dominating the opposition. Aside from that Seattle game where the Rams clawed out a win, these other teams have not been any match for the Rams. Offense and defense is just cruising along. Special teams getting squared away, hopefully. Still some concerns there. The return game, and Mevis, at least he made a couple of field goals, so we're pointed in the right direction. But yeah, don't read me wrong. This football team, no hesitation to say they are the class of the National Football League right now. And by the way, I got to tell you, if you want to feel even better about this team, you got to hear Davante Adams' comments. This is one of the great wide receivers of his generation. He's played with the Packers, the Raiders, the Jets. He's played with some really good quarterbacks, especially Aaron Rodgers. And his comment was that he's never had so much fun ever in his career playing with this football team. And I think that's a reflection of the culture. Once again, they are serious. They get down to business, but they love their teammates. They love what they're doing. And Davante is just feeling it and very happy for him. And very happy that we have him. That's for sure. Davante Adams, man, he is very thankful he made the decision to come over to the Rams. I'm going to do some data dumps on here for you. The first one is Emmanuel Forbes. He gave up 0 receptions on 7 targets in this game against the Bucs. No receiver has been targeted more times in a game since week 12 of 2022 without giving up a catch. And he had a career high 5 passes defended. Emmanuel Forbes, man, all doubts about his ability to perform like a former first-round pick are erased. And, from what my special assistant tells me, the crowd in Washington, fans of the Commanders, are questioning the decision the Commanders made. Commanders defense is not a very strong unit right now. And here they are watching Emmanuel Forbes in prime time playing like a Pro Bowler, at least for one night. Emmanuel Forbes, man, what a great acquisition for the Rams. And a data dump part 2 here. The Rams are number 1 in DVOA. They are number 1 on defense and number 2 on offense. And DVOA, if you're unfamiliar with it, is just a way of a better way of assessing how teams are performing in typical situations, offense and defense, and you down and distance and the opposition and all that stuff. I'm no expert on it, but it is a very accurate way of telling you how teams are playing. And the Rams are on number 1 as far as offense and defense right now. And man, Sean McVay and Chris Shula have figured it out. I'm not going to say anything about special teams here, but as far as the offense and defensive sides of the ball, this Rams team is cruising and seem to be getting better, actually, on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And, there is certainly room for improvement on defense. several weeks ago on offense. Could it get any better? Well, against the Bucs, man, this looked like a machine at work here. So good times for the Rams. Another reason why I'm telling you, I am excited. I am very excited about this team. Just so much good stuff going on. And here's data dump part 3. The Rams are averaging 27.9 points per game. That's 6th in the league, and allowing just 16.3. That's the lowest. So this is the DVOA is much more accurate than tells you more than this does, but still, a 12-point differential on average, pretty darn good. They are plus 12 in turnover differential. That's second in the league only to the Bears. And they have 31 sacks, which is 9th in the league. And by the way, the 49ers remain last in that department, 13 sacks. And if you watch them against Carolina, Bryce Young was just hanging out back there in the pocket with all kinds of time generally. But the Robert Saleh apparently has figured out an approach here. We're not really going to get to the quarterback, but we're going to do a really good job on the back end, flood the secondary with defenders, and it seems to be working. Although I have to tell you, the Panthers' offense did not impress me. We get them next week, of course. Although their rookie receiver had a drop there, but he's formidable. And then Brock Purdy, it was an off game for him, obviously, but I just felt like watching that game, he didn't have a lot of juice in his throws, but hey, it was just one snapshot for me. Not going to tell you I have all the goods on Brock Purdy, but did not a good outing for him, obviously. 3 interceptions in the first half. And then Matthew Stafford. How about Matthew Stafford? He threw TD passes under center from pistol and in the shotgun in this game. 19 under center TD passes, most by any quarterback since 2021, and has not thrown an interception from under center. This guy he is locked in. There are games where, it looks like he might be off a little bit. This Sunday night game, he was on, and man, I could probably fill up an hour of impressive data points for Matthew Stafford. Maybe I'll just share 2 or 3 every episode, and there you have it. Playing from under center, shotgun, and pistol, and doing damage from all 3. Sean McVay, man, pulling out all the stops, and obviously defenses are befuddled by the Rams offense at this point, and a guy that can throw no-look passes virtually every game now. I thought it was just a really rare thing. He did it in the Super Bowl. He did it once or twice here and there, but it seems to do it every game now. Just, leading safeties in the wrong direction and finding wide open wide receivers, man. Good stuff from Matthew Stafford these days. Good times and bad times. Did you see this photo op at the Aaron Donald appreciation game? And I'm on the YouTube channel. I'm sharing an image of, from left to right, Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, William Hayes, Chris Long, and Robert Quinn. And man, good times in that this group was so good together. And I'm not even sure if they all played together at the same time. I think they did. Pretty sure they did, actually. And the bad times, just a dismal period for the St. Louis and Los Angeles Rams. St. Louis Rams for the most part. Donald and Quinn obviously played for Los Angeles as well, the Brockers too at the end there. But just what a great group of guys. And I mentioned this once before. If you want to be highly entertained, go find that Chris Long podcast episode where he talks about the fight with the Bears, where his brother got in a fight and William Hayes was the instigator. And man, these guys had a lot of fun together, and it's a hilarious podcast. Go search that out. But it was cool to see these 5 guys together once again. All of them really very, very good players. William Hayes, a solid guy, and then working your way up. Robert Quinn, Pro Bowler. Michael Brocker, solid guy in the middle of the defense. And then Chris Long and Aaron Donald. Do we need to say anything additionally about Aaron Donald? Not really. greatest defensive player in the history of football, is my argument. Hey, remember, we are sponsored by MyBookie, and it is Thanksgiving weekend. The feast is on. The holy trinity of football, turkey, football, and bad decisions. And you can make one on Black Friday, but it's actually a pretty smart decision. Use promo code RAMSUP. They have an over-under bet on touchdowns scored in that Black Friday game between the Bears and the Eagles. Half a touchdown. So take the over. Obviously, it's a sure winner. And also remember, use that promo code up to $500 and bets fully covered. Go to MyBookie. This is the lock of the season, as they like to call it. It is back, baby. MyBookie, Bears, Eagles, Black Friday. Have fun with it. Get your buddies to sign on and join too. Use that promo code. Can't beat it. And this is why Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Back in the day, we used to throw around the football out in the street, touch football, and then we go have some turkey and watch some football. And now we got this Black Friday game too. Man, what a great weekend. And of course, you get to see your family, whether you like it or not. That's the other part of it, I suppose. But check out MyBookie for your Black Friday bet. Go through some snap counts of interest last week. We had 56 offensive snaps. Wondering who that third target is going to be from the wide receiver perspective. It was Jordan Whittington. 61% of the snaps. He had 3 catches for 17 yards, had 1 nice catch. And Mumpfield, 41% of the snaps. He had 2 catches for 25 yards. I was hoping to see one of these guys get more involved. But I think that, they did a decent job of spreading the ball around. Parkinson and Allen also got some action. And as far as the tight ends, Colby Parkinson is the guy, looking like, maybe a poor man's Tyler Higbee at this point. 62% of the snaps, 4 catches, 41 yards, and the TD. Davis Allen was out there for half the snaps, 3 catches for 29 yards. Terrence Ferguson, 27% of the snaps, and I've been predicting it, waiting for him to have his blow-up game, and it just hasn't happened. And I don't know if it's, the fact that they're not running 13 personnel with just these 3 guys there, at least minimal. I don't think they did it all. I have to go back and check the data. Maybe Ian will have something on that. But I think he had 1 target and could have caught that and didn't. Maybe that's part of the problem. Terrence got to make those catches. And then the running back snaps, pretty much 2-1. Kyron, 39 snaps. Blake, 19 snaps. Some pretty similar production as far as yards per carry. So Blake had a bit of a bounce back game after that horrible performance last week. And I wonder if something was going on. If he had a tell there, they knew it was coming, because 8 carries for 10 yards while Kyron's kind of tearing it up. I don't think they're that much different in talent, but last week they were. This most recent game back to kind of typical, what you'd expect, pretty fair, pretty comparable performances between our 2 running backs. So as far as the defensive snaps, look at the defensive backs first, and it was Josh Wallace, the man of the hour, 89% of the snaps out there. Jalen McCullough, kind of pretty much what we see from him, 47%. Roger McCreary, I saw him on a blitz early in the game. I think it was the Bucs' first possession. Apparently that was his only snap, so really strange. I don't know what's going on with that. And Tanner Engel, who was added to the 53-man roster, had just 3 snaps. By the way, there were 72 defensive snaps altogether. And at the end, Sean Dolek got in for 3 snaps. Rams at least emptying their bench a little bit. Not so much on offense. No Ronnie Rivers at all, which I find highly annoying. And then Nick Hampton had 16 snaps, which I think is significantly more than we see from him typically. Again, I assume that was late in the game. So Pro Football Focus grades, the top 5 guys here were Matthew Stafford, 91.5, and Puka Nacua, 86.3, Davante Adams, 81.9, Colby Parkinson, 77.3, and Alaric Jackson, 74.9. And by the way, these Pro Football Focus grades are courtesy of Cameron DeSilva and his guys over there at Rams Wire. They do a really good job. They are like my favorite Rams content creators because, as far as written content, because they just lay the data out there for you, have a lot of interesting angles on stuff. No fluff from the Rams Wire crowd. They do a really good job, I think. And on the defensive side, again from Rams Wire, Emmanuel Forbes 92.4, a career high, and Kobe Durant 90.6. And by the way, this is the first quarterback duo to finish 1-2 in the NFL. Pretty amazing. They're both ours. And Kobe Turner, 87.3 with 4 pressures, and Braden Fisk, an 84.4, had some nice plays against the run. And Jalen McCullough, 81.0. And I'm going to throw a question out here for you. I'm not going to have the answer. Rhetorical question. Forbes and Durant playing extremely well. D. Will also doing a pretty darn good job. Josh Wallace and Jalen McCullough fitting in. Cameron Curl. I'm going to talk about Cameron Curl here in a minute, by the way. And Cam Kinchin's both playing really well. And Akilla Witherspoon, McVay saying his 21-day window is forthcoming, going to be sometime in December. They think he's going to return sometime in December. And as well as this defense is playing, what are you going to do? How do you roll Akilla Witherspoon back in? What is the plan for that? And I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not throwing shade on Witherspoon. It's just a question. As well as this unit is playing, it's a great problem to have. Do they just roll Witherspoon out back to the CB1 spot? Does D. Will go back to the bench? I don't know, man. It's going to be it's a fun problem to have, and I think I kind of know what the answer is going to be, but I'll leave it at that. Witherspoon was playing so well for the last year plus for our Rams. Is really our best cornerback. We've been getting better and better every week without him. It's pretty amazing. And now Quentin Lake out. So, hey, when he comes back, man, going to be good times here in Los Angeles. And I mentioned Cameron Curl, and I got to tell you, this guy doesn't get enough love. And I had that poll the other day, and I kind of felt bad putting a poll out asking you who's the lowest priority as far as our undrafted free agents, and had Nate Landman on there because at the time he was a free agent. Nate Landman, Kobe Durant, Cameron Curl, I forget who the fourth one was. And Cameron Curl, as Chris Collinsworth pointed out, might be the best tackling safety in the league, and there's data to support that. And by the way, he led the team in tackles against the Bucs on Sunday night. Nate Landman is 9th in the league with tackles, 98. Cameron Curl is 19th with 87. And I was scrolling through the top tacklers in the National Football League, trying to find someone other than Cameron Curl that is not a linebacker, and I couldn't find one. I think I got through the top 30, and Cameron Curl, the lone safety. So is he a linebacker playing strong safety? Maybe he is, but very quietly impacting this team. And man, I don't think we appreciate Cam Curl as much as we should. Now, what about Josh Wallace? How did he do filling in? Well, he had a Pro Football Focus grade of 64.1, which is fair to middling. Had 2 calls against him, 2 penalties. That hurt his grade, I'm sure. 3 targets against him. Gave up 2 catches for 10 yards. So I'm not sure if he's been tested yet. This Bucs team is probably not in their current state, not the best test for him. I'm not sure the Panthers will be either. When we get the Seahawks again, that'll be a big test for him, and the Lions as well. But fitting in okay. I don't think anything to be super concerned about. Josh Wallace, Chris Shula seems to have the utmost confidence in him, and so far, no reason to disagree for sure. And a couple of moves the Rams have made. So Tanner Ingle was added to the 53-man roster. which I thought was so cool. And then immediately waived with no recall. And my special assistant and I were trying to make sense of that. But apparently that's a stepping stone to get him back onto the practice squad, and that's exactly what happened. Tanner Ingle added back to the practice squad on Tuesday, and the Rams also brought back offensive lineman Wyatt Bowles to the practice squad. If I remember correctly, he was released when they added Mevis. I think that was what happened. And speaking of Mevis, no word on Joshua Carty. We'll see. Maybe by the time you hear this, something happens. Seems like every time I bring up something like this, by the half an hour after I post, my inputs are stale or obsolete already. So I'm not trying to curse Joshua Carty, but I suspect something's going to happen with him, or they roll with two kickers on the 53. Everybody tells me it's not possible. They kind of did one week, but only one of them was active, of course. Previously Mevis was getting promoted to the 53. Now he's on the 53 along with Carty. Strange times in the kicking room, awkward times in the kicking room. I asked my special assistant, when Mevis is lining up for those kicks, what's going through Carty's head? Is he hoping for a shank? I don't know. I kind of think he might be. But hey, it's we, not me, so maybe I'm wrong. Carty, not trying to suggest anything other than he's a we, not me guy for our Rams. So that's it for my Rams Up rehash. On to Carolina. We'll have a couple more drops between now and the game, including a roundtable, our keys to victory, pregame polls, which I forgot to get posted onto the podcast. It was available on the YouTube channel. But that's it out here from Rams Up.